Good morning.
Yeah, you're welcome to the Saber webinar.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. Thank you so much for joining. I see a couple of people have joined. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Ifeyinwa Ozioko, and I work with Saber here in Nigeria. So while we wait for others to join, we'll just play a short video and then we'll start shortly. Thank you.
When you travel beyond the standard of NDC, the possibilities are limitless, which is why you need a complete view of the landscape. Every flight, every add-on, every option. With Sabre, it's a view you can only get with Sabre Red 360, your ticket to NDC offers. To get started, use the air shopping path, and then add the journey details to access a world of content in one easy-to-follow display. Our air shopping path is fully API enabled, so it pulls from multiple sources of information at once, including traditional, low-cost carrier, and NDC offers. And it's all presented in a single display for efficient comparison shopping. With Sabre Red 360, availability and fares appear in a familiar workflow while clearly depicting the content source. In this case, it is an NDC offer. Open the panel to see more information about a flight. Then click Select Offer to see more specific details. Details such as the offer time limit, taxes, fees, and baggage information come straight from the supplier. After adding the traveler data, click to create the order. The order request is then sent to the airline. Once accepted, you'll receive a confirmation with a unique order ID, which is displayed on the header of the graphical PNR. Here, you'll see the Sabre Passenger Name Record, or PNR, airline locator and order ID, as well as the itinerary, ticketing time limit, and pricing information. For fulfillment, use the workflow menu and click Fulfill Order. Add the payment information to secure the order before the order expires. You'll receive a confirmation response on screen indicating the order has been successfully fulfilled. That's it, just a few simple steps. You will expand content access, enhance productivity, and add profitability to your bottom line while delivering the exact experience your travelers want every time. Get your ticket to booking NDC offers today. Explore beyond the NDC standards at sabre.com/NDC.
Okay, thank you very much for the video. You're welcome again to the webinar. Our webinar Beyond NDC, Winning in the New Travel Space. The long awaited day is here. We've been waiting for this day, and we're happy to be here. So shortly, I'm going to be introducing our host for today. It's already 10:06, and I think we should still wait a couple of minutes for more people to join. Okay, welcome back. To the new people that have joined, thank you so much for joining. You're welcome to our webinar, Beyond NDC, Winning in the New Travel Space. Thank you so much for joining. I'd like to use this opportunity to welcome specially our guests and our panelists in no particular order. Manal Al-Taher, thank you so much for joining. Manal is going to be representing IATA today. In a special way, we would like to welcome Mrs. Susan Akporiaye, the NANTA President. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. We would like to also welcome Oludayo Akeredolu, who is the Marketing Executive of Qatar Airways. Thank you so much for joining. We'd like to welcome Bestad Melanie from Saber as well, and Maurizio. Thank you so much for joining. It is my honor to now welcome our hosts for today, Mr. Hamish Broom, to give his welcome address. Hamish. Hamish, are you there?
I am. Can you see me? Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now. Thank you for joining.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning, everybody, from here in the UK. I'm very pleased to be joining you all this morning for this very important webinar, and to have the opportunity to speak with you all, albeit virtually. I'd like to now share my screen so that you can see my presentation. So I will just do that now. I hope everybody else can as well. You should be looking at a PowerPoint screen with my name on it, and my discussion this morning will be focused around an introduction to NDC and how we got to NDC, and explain a little bit about the history behind it. For those of you who may be new to the topic, the NDC stands for New Distribution Capability, and you're going to learn a lot about it today. So if we think back over the years, how the travel industry has evolved, I think it will set the context for understanding just how significant NDC is for everybody in the travel industry. So irrespective of what your role is, whether you work in an agency, whether you work in an airline, whether you work in a GDS, whether you're another technology provider, everybody is impacted by NDC. So I'd like to step back for a moment and look at the history of how the travel industry, and particularly airline sales and the use of technology, has evolved, and bring you from the past right up to the present. So if we think back to the 1950s, we may be lucky enough to have some people on the call who were actually in the industry back in the 50s. But in those days, there was very little automation. So there wasn't the technology required to do anything but manual processes. So airlines used to have inventory for flights on cards, and those cards were updated manually. And if you wanted to be booked on a flight, the inventory was simply on a paper card, and passengers either had to call the reservation center or go to the ticketing office to register their interest in going on a particular flight. By the 1960s, the airlines realized that as they were opening more routes and the volumes were starting to grow, they needed to find some way of bringing in some automation to help them manage their inventories. And that was the very first use of technology back in the 1960s. And if we trace the history of Sabre, which at that point was solely being used by American Airlines, Sabre was created as a joint partnership between American Airlines and IBM. And they built a very large mainframe computer. And you can see at the bottom of the screen there, I've put some highlights of the technology from each era. And these big computer systems were enormous, ran on a computer language called TPF, but still, even though that was helping the airline, the passengers still had to call in, so did travel agents. There was nothing more than that. It was just helping the airlines get some technology automation. Then in the 1970s, the airlines realized that one thing they could do was to provide technology to selected travel agencies. So they picked their largest travel agencies, the ones that were their preferred agencies and booking the most amount of their inventory, and they started putting those terminals into various travel agencies, mainly at this time in North America. And that was the birth of what we call the CRS, the Computerized Reservation System. Throughout the whole of the era of the automation of travel has been IATA from the very beginning and very prevalent today. So IATA started setting the standards of how the processes and procedures were going to work in the agencies using the computer system provided by the airlines. And in 1972, they actually founded BSP and the North America ARC. At this point, the technology was not really dedicated to the travel industry. Using existing phone lines, you had to have a modem, and you had to have a wired LAN local area network in your agency. By the 1980s, the CRS was developing a bit more. They were offering a choice of airlines. It wasn't just the airline that had installed the system in your office. It now had a choice of airlines in there, and it did have some options for hotel and car. Tickets could be issued in the agency now, and there were paper ticketing. And for those of you who were in the industry at that point will realize you had to get a box of paper tickets from your local IATA BSP if you were a certified agency, and those box of tickets were fed into a very clunky printer, which you had to line up. It was quite a challenge to get those things to print on the right line. But it did provide a lot more automation than the previous users had had. At that time, there was still dedicated hardware. These were big machines, and slowly, as PCs became more commonplace, the size of the desktop at least was shrinking to a manageable size. By the 90s, there was ever more content available, not just air, hotel, and car. We were starting to see tours, we were starting to see insurance, we were starting to see a lot more cruises and a lot more different products available. And who was and is a technology provider in the airline industry, were providing ever more connections to these suppliers. Likewise, they were also supporting the connections to the agencies. So we had IATA and non-IATA now accessing the CRS. And the CRS during this period morphed into the GDS. So the GDS, the global distribution systems, were now starting to become familiar names within the travel industry. The technology used at this time was still around messaging. Originally, it was teletype, which was a language that allowed computers to send messages to one another, and then came along EDIFACT. Both of these there's still shreds of these being used in the industry today, but as we will come to see, most of that is being replaced now by new technologies. EDS has automated the pricing of PNRs, and the data for doing the fare calculations was provided by the airlines to ATPCO, which is the company that aggregated all the different fares data from all the airlines, and the GDS really was able to make that very useful and very presentable to travel agencies. There was advances in chips, advances in speed of computers, and there were more powerful algorithms being developed. And in the Sabre world, we started to see Bargain Finder and other ways of finding the cheapest possible fare from millions of combinations of fares that the airlines were providing to ATPCO. There was a landmark change in the industry at this point in 2008 with the end of paper tickets and the adoption of e-tickets. That was a big step forward. and a significant moment in the industry, and one that's good to remember. By now, in the world of technology, the internet was starting to not only be used in science and in education, it was now being able to be used in the travel industry as well. We saw the birth of Wi-Fi, and then we saw some new computer languages, XML, which is a way that a more advanced way of computers talking to one another, and the invention of APIs, which is a way of getting data from one computer to another, and that forerunner of the online travel agencies. So the online travel agencies were revolutionary. This created a boom period, which we all understand now. Sabre was actually at the forefront of all of this with Travelocity in the US, and then there's big brands that were built up around that time. Expedia, which we know of in Europe, Last Minute, and in the Nigeria context, Wakanao, and others. Airlines were also selling on their own websites as well. So we had this interesting dilemma and dynamic coming into the industry, where you could get content from the GDS, but you could also now get much easier content from the airlines. And the whole industry has become, at this period, 24/7. Data and information and access to systems is available around the clock from anywhere in the world, provided you've got internet access on mobile, tablet, and the technology, which you'll see down at the bottom, is by now we're seeing things like cloud service, cloud computing, web services, machine learning, and AI. So lots of new technologies that are coming from other industries are being adopted in the travel industry. And then if we come right up to this decade and to right now, to 2022, and to this webinar, another big landmark in the industry. And that's why we're all very pleased to have you on this webinar to talk to you more about it as NDC, New Distribution Capability. And this is a new way for airlines to do personalized retailing and mix fares with ancillaries directly from the airline. This NDC content, as you'll learn on this webinar, will sit alongside the Sabre content, and you saw that in the opening video. As more and more airlines adopt NDC, it's going to become more plentiful. So it is important that you understand about NDC, because it is the way the whole industry is moving. The thing is, and you'll see it right in the bottom right-hand corner, is that NDC content is available at Sabre points of sale, particularly on Sabre Red 360, delivered to your point of sale. So you're going to have access to all this new and exciting content that we're now going to be seeing coming from the airlines. So I hope you found that useful. It is a landmark moment in the industry that we've moved to this, and we're looking forward to sharing you more information about it today. I hope you enjoy the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much, Hamish, for your presentation. And yes, I did enjoy it. From my side, I mean, I've just learned a lot, starting from 1950s, even back to when my parents weren't even married yet, not to talk of me being born. Thank you so much. At least I've learned, you've just taken us back to the 70s when airlines had to install terminals in large agencies, and then down to the 2020s where NDC is like the new thing and the way to go. Thank you so much for your presentation, Hamish. So we would like to, now that we've heard from our hosts, we would like to just briefly show us the housekeeping rules, just so that we're all on the same page. And then immediately after that, we'll just take you through the agenda. Nuruddin, please. Okay, so right here we have our housekeeping rules. So we're going to entertain your questions at the end of the session. So kindly use the Q&A icon on the toolbar when you want to ask your questions. Once you click on it, then you would be able to type your questions. At the end of the session, the moderator will take 1 or 2 questions from the Q&A comment boxes, and this would be immediately after each presentation. Okay, so we've already seen, we've already heard from our hosts, Hamish Broom, and now we would like to invite Melanie to go ahead and share her screen and talk to us about NDC from the Saber perspective. Melanie and Mauricio. Melanie and Mauricio, you have the floor now. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. So there we go.
Thank you.
And let me see and share the screen. Screen 2 and share. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Good, perfect. So let me introduce myself. I'm Maurizio. I'm the account director for corporate and global accounts. I'm based in Paris. I look after large TMCs since quite a few years. It's 20 years I'm with Saber already. And I've gone through a little bit of that journey that Hamish was introducing, not all of it. And today I'm going to speak to you about NDC, since our large TMCs, the Amex, the BCDs, CWTs, and so on of this world, as well as the corporations, are asking a lot of questions around that. So I'll give you the perspective of Saber and how we're moving along with the whole value chain around NDC. Melanie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, just introduce myself. So I'm Melanie Bestard. I'm a project technology consultant. So I'm in charge of different agencies. It could be TMC, could be leisure, it could be tour operators. And I'm doing some training, demos, and yes, I'm helping, the salespeople to show you and to introduce you to the new world of NDC.
Thank you. So, in line with what actually Hamish has said, I will guide you a little bit through the NDC foundations from our point of view. What we are doing actually around NDC and how we're going beyond, a summary of what is available, and Melanie will follow up with a demo of certain NDC workflows. So, the landscape has changed. Hamish has shown us how airlines have evolved in the meantime. And in today's times, airlines are looking really how to change, how to increase revenue much more, but most importantly, how to differentiate a product. In all industries, generally, everyone sells this product in his way. And in the travel industry, since 50 years, an airline product was sold in a binary way. It was sold available or not available, 0 or 1. That doesn't work any longer for airlines. Airlines want to differentiate their products, want to show what their product looks like, and not if it's only available or not available. So this is key, and this is one of the drivers of NDC. And it is important to bring a product into market pretty quickly. And that's something that hasn't been easily available with ATPCO in the past, because it needed to follow a certain process until a product got available, which makes airlines slow to get to market. And that's why NDC is a new technology that helps to be more speedy. On the other hand, from your point of view, you need to have the full content. You need to have, or at least access to that content. You need to make sure that all your workflows work, and all of that is key for the corporations. It needs to be policy compliant. There need to be a lot of the travel expectations need to be set, and costs need to be controlled. And at the same time, the travelers have increasing expectations. They look at this differently. They want a leisure-like application. So there are a lot of things to take into account where this is coming from. And so again, starting from the airline, why did the airlines do this? It's because today airlines say, I want to sell my product at the right offer, at the right moment, in the right channel. So all of what you see on the left-hand side are ancillaries that are possible. But instead of saying, hey, these are the standard type of ancillaries, I send them through the GDS, I go through a different chain, and until they're made available, it will take some time. I want to do this dynamically. I want to do this at the moment, depending on who I have as a traveler. So if I have a frequent traveler that has certain advantages, I want to give him something different, and that is through NDC that I can do this, and I want to distinguish if I do this in one channel or another channel. So it's all about the right offer at the right time through the right channel, and NDC allows that. So in the past, we had the traditional artifact offers, what you are currently used to. It will continue to exist because NDC, it's a journey. It will take years. We are with NDC live, but it will be in both paths, will be available for a long time, because not airlines are all ready to get into NDC immediately. It will allow to bundle content in a more, can you see actually the mouse moving, Melanie? Just so. Yes, okay, cool. So it will allow to bundle ancillaries in a dynamic way, but most importantly, to personalize offers, because today, a traveler doesn't want to see millions of offers. A traveler wants to see the offer that is relevant to the traveler. A traveler wants to see if they prefer a speedy check-in or a seat at the window. We know this, or the airline knows this from the past. An offer that bundles these items and is relevant to this traveler. So an NDC enables this bundling of offers and these personalized offers. In essence, anything that the airline presents through airline.com should be available in any indirect channel, and that is what NDC enables. But look at it, it's not as this one-way street as you can see on airline.com to the traveler, which is easy. In the indirect channel in which we are, there are different steps to get to this point, and you have to see it as a lock, where you have to unlock different steps in order to get there. So the travel management companies, you need to be getting access to NDC. So obviously we need to make it available. Then you'll need to get access. For those that are using an online booking tool, they will need to make it available, and the corporations will need to adopt it, because they will need to renegotiate deals potentially with the airlines for NDC before it ever gets live. So we are at different steps of this process. Certainly we have it live, TMCs are having it live, OBTs are on the good way to making it live, and corporations are starting to get to it. As Hamish said, it's just a language, NDC. It's XML. It's not a commercial model. It's just a way to communicate, but it's making it easier to go and realize what you see here on the left-hand side. So differentiation, more content, pictures. What does my product look like? What seats do I have? But having also a consistent experience. We're working very closely with IATA on this, and we have been in the past. IATA had different levels of approval, which we have all met, and now IATA has changed and has created an Airline Retailing Maturity Index, ARM. We are actually certified as an NDC aggregator. That is Saber, as you see, as a distributor, as well as NDC airline IT provider. At the same time, we offer you NDC. We do also work with the airlines to make NDC, to bring NDC to the table, to make it live. And the ARM index, if you ever have a moment to get on the web, if you type into it, you can see each functionality from each vendor really available. You can see Sabre versus other vendors, what is available. But this is key to have all the functionalities available in NDC. You have to imagine that NDC is kind of, we are rebuilding what exists and what has been built in 60 years' time, based upon the functionality that each airlines bring to life. And that's the same actually for all other players. So what are we doing to go beyond NDC? We're investing a lot of money. We're investing actually in 2022 more than we have invested in 2019, despite the crisis that we have gone through. NDC is really a key element of our strategy. It covers the three elements: retailing, distribution, fulfillment. When we say retailing, we help the airline to show the product in the right way, how they want to show it in the indirect channel. When we say distribution, we help you actually see that product, book that product. And when we say fulfillment, we mean we make sure that the offer, whatever is shown, is going through all the processes, and you can change it, you can modify it, and it's keeping the consistency that you are used to it. It's key for our strategy. So we work also with other partners in this, and we make sure that these offers come to life. It's consistent in all channels, and alongside with what the airline wants, seamless and ideally fast to market. From a functionality perspective, if you book NDC, you don't want to book NDC and have a passive segment, for example, because if you have a passive segment, you can't change it, you can't modify it. It's cool if you have booked it, but then what do you do then? Most of the work in the business travel environment is really behind the scenes. You change a ticket many times. So an active reservation is key. That's what we need to work on. We work on. Security and scalability is key. We need to make sure that this NDC model is used and can be used across the globe with millions and trillions of hits. And the airline systems, our systems, are able to manage this. We need to make sure that your mid and back office works with NDC. There are slight changes that could be required in order to make NDC work, and we have been working with standard mid and back office providers to make sure that this works. We have to look at policy compliance. We have to look at other processes like duty of care to make sure that this all follows through the right steps and it doesn't break anything that is currently available. And in order for that to happen, because we are not alone on this journey, we work with multiple TMCs, multiple partners, airlines, and so on, in order to make this happen. Because it's a journey, we need to have every player around it. We need to work with IATA, we need to work with the airline, we need to work with the TMCs, with the corporations, with every actor here, which is why we have NDC advisory boards, in order to make sure we have the right product and we take into account the full end-to-end view of how to book a product despite the change into a new technology. So in essence, let's get a little bit more concrete. It is a strategic initiative for Sabre in order to make sure that the airline is distributing the content in the right way, in a rich way, and to make sure we realize personalization with NDC, and it fits the workflows that are used to. In order to make this work, we have moved to an API-led development. So anything we develop right now is not a product, is an API first. That means we create the technology behind the scenes, and then we adopt this technology in different places. So this technology that we create, offer and order APIs, offers is what the airline is producing when you say, hey, give me an offer, and order is when the booking is made at the airline side. This is a key change, because with the NDC world, the offer is made on the airline side and is no longer made in the GDS side, and the order is made also on the airline side. So we send the offer, we send the request through to the airline makes the offer and creates the order. And that is something, the API to make this happen will be made available to any partners that want to work with the Sabre APIs. It is what you will see, and Melanie will show you in Sabre Red 360, and it is made available also in GetThere, our own online booking tool for corporations. So what we do is API first. We develop the technology, and then we make it available in different places so that everyone can benefit from this technology, whoever wants to. What can you get in this technology? When you have an offer and order API, you can get immediately with one call, you can get the traditional offers, the low-cost offers or XML offers, and NDC offers. So from a Sabre perspective, it is important to say, okay, we have NDC, but you don't need to say, hey, give me this, give me this, give me this, but it needs to be efficient. So we say to our whole ecosystem, you do one call and you get all of it consistently in one display. Melanie will show you that. And that's why we have created the offer and order APIs to make it simple and normalize all of that content. Today, we have NDC live in 135 countries with the airlines that we have live. It is activated in more than 5,000 PCCs. We're working with a lot of airlines and discussing with a lot of airlines how they want to make NDC live. It is part of every contract negotiation we do with airlines. And we follow the airline retailing maturity index with IATA and add functionality by functionality by functionality, depending on what is required. So in essence, what do we have available in Sabre? We have Avianca content today available to book, which is mostly relevant to the Latin American market. Keep in mind that Sabre has a global marketplace, so we try to be everywhere in this global marketplace. We have Qantas available, mostly relevant, obviously, in the Pacific region. We have Qatar available today from the Middle East point of view, a Middle Eastern hub, very important for the European market. And we have also Singapore Airlines available since quite some time. On top of that, we have content in pilot, which means we test it with limited number of agencies if the functionality works with American Airlines, Finnair, and United. And we will launch a soft pilot also with the Lufthansa Group end of this year, which means the Lufthansa Group, all of the airlines that are part of the Lufthansa Group, SN, Brussels Airlines, Austrian Airlines, Swiss, and Lufthansa, to make sure that Lufthansa content gets live as well. So the pilot will start end of this year, and if it runs smoothly, it will be deployed across different markets in the first half next year. What is available? As I was saying before, NDC is a new technology. We say to the airline, give me this, give me this, give me this, and we're rebuilding what has been built in 60 years. So every functionality you use needs to be built for the NDC technology. Today, what is available is shop, price, book, pay, cancel, void, refund, and so on. Exchanges and seats are partially coming. It depends on the airlines. Not every airline has the same level of expectation in terms of functionality. Some want to focus on seats, some want to focus on refunds, some on multi-adult. It depends on the airline. It's a different mindset. Key for us is servicing. It needs to allow servicing. You need to be able to change a ticket, to void a ticket, to refund a ticket, and Melanie will show you that, because this is your daily business, and this is what we need to do, and not only to book NDC, which many players do, because book is not enough. What do you do afterwards? Do you call the airline? That's complex. Do you look at portal and then you have to do everything manually into the back office? That's complex. No, we want to make sure that the end-to-end workflow works. So all of this is important, including servicing. And now let's actually get to the points of sale. So Melanie will show you a few workflows on how NDC works with certain carriers that are currently live. That means we are not going into the details of how you can order it today. It is an overview. We can certainly provide that at a later stage, but today it is available for ordering certain these carriers that I was showing you. And Melanie, if you can, I will unshare in a moment, and then
Yes,
I have
please.
2 slides at the end only to wrap it
Okay.
up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just stop sharing. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm gonna start with this one. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So like Mauricio says, it's been a while now that Sabre has made a transition to graphical. Yes, we use 2 formats and it's really handy. We've been working for years with the formats, but it's been like 4 or 5 years since branded fares pretty much has been introduced by first Lufthansa Group. And slowly, but yeah, it's been 5 years now that Sabre has really made the transition to graphical. So just to show you, because how it started and where we want to go with NDC. So you're probably familiar with what you're using today, or maybe not, because not so many people, but you know, you can have access to air shopping. So if you do, I'm going to show you the branded fares, and it's really pretty much where we want to go with NDC. And you won't have to go to another screen, or you have to type something else. NDC in XML will be really all fully together, and that would be the great things. So you just have to fill in the different boxes that you want to go. So if I just want to go from Brussels to Yaoundé and coming back, let's say on the 20th of October. Okay, and let me just put any airlines pretty much who has branded fares. So could be Air France, could be another airline. So of course, I would be in euros. I mean, based in France for this introduction. So that's actually the screen that you might know. That's the screen that we have, like I told you a few years ago now, and it's very easy to read. You've got all the different fares that you can have for one route, and you have here access to branded fares. So you just have to click on it, and you would get all the option. You can see very easily that you can change how many luggage do you have access to. Can you have lounge? If it's not refundable, any information that the airlines are actually adding, you will be able to see it. So it's, let's say, premium, and you can see all the different cabin and also all the different booking class, and you can see in one screen pretty much, and you can pick whatever you want and sell and save price. So it was that easy, and we really wanted to have that kind of screen for NDC, because first, it would be easier for you to keep pretty much the same process, so you're not lost. And yeah, it would be just easier for you. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to share another one.
And while Melanie does that, this is one of the key items that the airlines wanted to make sure in the indirect channel is working. Make their product visible. It's not only available or not available. Make it rich, make it look like something you would book on their website, also in the indirect channel.
Yeah, definitely. So do you see my other screen that I'm typing?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm seeing, no, sorry, I'm seeing Brussels Airlines. I'm seeing it.
It's not this one. Okay. Yeah, so I should be stop sharing this one. This one. This is a new screen. Right?
Search screen.
Yeah, perfect. So I had to change, and this time I will be in Australian dollars, but it won't change anything. It just have to be NDC or non-NDC, you know, because as Maurizio said, we've got more and more airlines. We've got different markets as well. So that's why for the training purposes, because I'm going to issue some tickets, you know, you have to work on a different PCC. So that's why, but doesn't change anything. So you will see, you will start from air shopping. So even if on XML, all the airlines, we use exactly the same screen. So we all start from the same way, you know, so that would be so much easier for you, because it's not like if you have to go somewhere else. No, you start exactly with the same process, the same boxes to fill in. So very easy. And this time I'm going to include Qatar. Okay, because as you know, as Mauricio showed you, Qatar is already on NDC. And here you've got all the processes that has been changed also. It's available today, but it has been changed to fulfill order, for example, compared to issue tickets is an XML, but at least you've got all the workflows, NDC or non-NDC, at the same place. So you see with Qatar, you've got Doha Abidjan, for example. You've got the different fares for that route. You can have, okay, economy convenience, for example, or economy comfort. It's very easy. You've got all the details of the taxes in total. Like I told you, it's not the same currency. So it's very easy to see all the details of the flight time, you know, the equipment, all the information and the 2 pieces of luggage that the airlines are providing. So really, to make a booking, it's not creating or it's not booking, it's select the offer. It's a different term, but pretty much it's the same. It's the same. We are going to create an order instead of creating a booking. Why that? It's because, as you can see here, you've got 19 minutes pretty much to create your PNR. And I know for you, it's you don't take 19 minutes to create a PNR today, right? But it's still, it will be held by the airline for 19 minutes, and then you can see that it's decreasing, of course. You also see straight away the time limit that the airline, as you can see here, it says ticketing time limit seen by the carrier. Okay, you've got the time, you've got the price, you've got all the details. You know, the second baggage is free, the first baggage is free. You've got really all the information. I just have to create my order. Straight away, it will display what do I need to fill in. So maybe the airline, because some of the airlines will maybe, if you will have a different price if you insert a frequent flyer, for example, or it could be anything. So every time an airline will ask for something different, we will add it, so you don't have to think about it. Just to know, for the TMCs, yes, of course, it will read the profiles, right? So very easy. And my name is automatically pop up from what I fill in here. So very easy. So I'm just creating that order. So we won't call that anymore PNR, but it will be pretty much the same, and I can retrieve it. So as you can see here, I've got everything into graphical. It's pretty much what the video showed you, but I can also see it into cryptic. You know, I can see my PNR. My PNR is the same, and I can retrieve it with the format way. I've got all the information. I've got the PNR number from Saber, the PNR number for the airline, the order from the airline, everything. And then I just have to click here on the workflow tab. And the workflow tab, I just have to fulfill order, which means I'm going to issue the tickets. Okay, so some airlines will request maybe a credit card, or they will accept any form of payment. And as you can see, I just have to click on fulfill the order, and it will just issue the ticket. So it will be just the workflows. Here we go, it's done. My ticket is actually issued. So I can display the tickets through graphical. So it's exactly the same as today with the regular airlines, right? And you just can see here just 2x, just it shows that it's NDC, but otherwise it's pretty much exactly the same information, the same display, which is good, because if you're used to the old one, pretty much you will get used to NDC. And to cancel or get the refund, it's exactly the same. It's in the same workflow. I just have to click on cancel, and it will be the same way for the refund. And I just have to choose the ticket that I want to do, continue, and it will just cancel the ticket, voided, right? As you can see, it's type void. If I did my PNR yesterday, I would have be able to do the refund. It will calculate automatically how much would be the refund, and it will cancel automatically. So it's very quick, and it's, as you can see here, there's no more itinerary. So the segment has been canceled at the same time, which is not the case today for just the regular airlines. Okay, so honestly, with Qatar, as you can see, you can issue a ticket, book a PNR, and do a refund in pretty much 3 clicks. So it's very easy and very convenient. Maurizio, do you want to?
Yeah. You need to unshare.
Yeah, sorry. Stop sharing. Yeah.
Okay, and screen to share. So there we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. So that was a little bit of a quick insight on how NDC booking works. It's the same workflow, because that is our intention, to make it flow into the same look and feel and workflow. But keep in mind, offers and orders are created by the airlines and no longer in the GDS. That's why they're called offers and orders, but the workflow is the same. If you need further information about how NDC works in our online bookings, we'll get there. Let us know. We're happy to share more information at a later stage with you. That is how corporations would book it in the OBT at a later stage. So in essence, NDC is live with Sabre. You will be seeing NDC content alongside with ATP content for a long time, because it's a journey. Every airline is getting to it and delivering certain functionality. It will enable really the selling of personalized and smart offers, this dynamic bundling of different types of offers that are relevant for one or the other person. But it will allow you also to sell more ancillaries and potentially earn more revenue. At the same time, it is key that the content and the workflow is the same as Melanie has shown to you. And if you need it, if you want it, like for example for Qatar, you just go ahead and order it on our Sabre Central Marketplace. And with that, we say thank you.
Thank you so much, Mauricio and Melanie, for the presentation. Thank you. It was very helpful. At least on my part, I've learned again a couple of things, such as NDC rebuilding what has been built for 60 years, and knowing that it's also a key enabler of our vision. Thank you for also taking us through the API-led development, and then letting us know the airlines that are enabled on Sabre for NDC, as well as letting us know that we can just, with 3 clicks, book a ticket on Sabre Red 360. Thank you so much. I hope that our all our other partners have learned as much as I have done in this short period of time. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
it is my honor at this point to introduce to us our IATA representative in the person of Manal Al-Taher. She is the Regional Manager, Transformation and Products. She's also the Deputy DG Middle East, Africa, and the Regional Financial Settlement and Distribution Services. You're welcome. You're welcome, Manal. Manal, can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, you're welcome. The floor is now yours. Please feel free to share your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear. Just give me 1 second, please. I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, just let me know when you start seeing it.
Okay, I'll let you know once I start saying it. Okay, yes, I can see your screen now.
Is it on the presentation mode?
Not yet. It's not on the presentation mode, I believe.
Okay, just
I think it's coming up.
No,
Okay.
we just see the other mode, actually. Yeah.
Yes, it's on
that's better.
presentation
Now?
mode now. Yes.
Okay,
yes, it's on
excellent.
presentation mode now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just noticed my camera is not open, so apologies for that. And again, thank you so much actually for having me in this event. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So just 1 second. I'm facing some issues, some technical issues here. I'm sorry for that. I need to. All right. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so apologies for that. I will stop my video. It's impacting my connection. All right. So again, it's a pleasure to be here with you talking about NDC, but most importantly, talking about the modern airline retailing. You started to see that actually the industry has shifted away from only talking about NDC. It's more about focused digital modern retailing. Digital modern retailing basically means that we have to place our customers at the center of shop, order, pay ecosystem, regardless of the shopping channel that they are looking at. So this will be mainly enabled by the development and the adoption of a new distribution capability, NDC, but not only that. And in addition to the support of other related standards like dynamic offers, settlement with orders, one order, and the future of interline. All of these modern standards are actually going to address the legacy distribution limitations that is impacting the product differentiation, the time to market, access to the full and rich air content, and finally having a transparent shopping experience. So that's what we mean when we talk about the airline retailing. We started to have a lot of engagements, not only with the distribution and commercial teams from the airlines, but we see that it is very important to have this cross-functional collaboration between the finance, between the e-commerce, between the IT, between the distribution team, revenue management, because also payment is critical when it comes to the airline retailing. We have done recently a study around the payment cost, and it showed that payment is costing the industry around $20 billion. So that's why when we do the engagement with the airlines, we make sure that whenever they build their retailing strategy, they take into consideration and they are aligned with their colleagues from the revenue, accounting, and from the finance department to make sure that their payment strategy is also aligned with the retailing strategy. Now, why to move toward the digital retailing, because basically digital players, we're talking about Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, all of these digital players, they are expanding their footprint across the customer air travel experience. They are raising the expectations of shopping and interactions with airlines and as well travel agents. So customer nowadays, what they are expecting: customized, seamless, frictionless, and even mobile experience similar to the shopping experience that they are having with these digital players. If we look at Amazon way to retail, this is where we want the industry to be heading. This is where what we want to achieve in our industry, similar to the Amazon way to retail. It's a very modern retailing way. It's about personalization. With one click, you can do the shopping. With one click, you can do the payment. And by the end of your journey, you will have one record where one order that you can easily manage and change throughout the shopping experience and the shopping journey. The second reason, well, basically, according to Google Trends report, that today the average person is looking for 35 sites of a travel experience planning compared to almost like 8 sites 10 years ago. So this is a strong indication that the travelers, they are seeking for a rich content that inspires their need. And we have seen that the customer behavior has changed, but actually COVID has accelerated those changes. So the crisis has raised the importance of customer centricity and the urgency to embrace modern technology. So we have seen most airlines, technology providers, and sellers, they have actually maintained retailing as part of their core strategic priorities despite the crisis. Not only that, we have done actually a study, and we have discovered that customers, they are ready to share personal details as long as they can get personalized offers, real-time information, and a seamless transaction. The last reason why retailing is important and why it's important to move toward the digital retailing is that the value at stake is significant. This is as per McKinsey study. So back in 2019, McKinsey did a study about the value potentials in the airline retailing, and the findings were significant. So McKinsey estimated that the industry would realize up to $40 billion in additional value, annual value by 2030. This is equivalent to 4% of the industry current revenue, which is equivalent to $7 per passenger. Of course, these are industry average numbers, and it will vary from one airline to another depending on their retailing strategy. But in general, airlines can achieve this potential from the following building blocks, like the development of new offers, the enhancement of the revenue management, optimized distribution mix, better customer targeting and engagement, and last but not least, as we mentioned, payment is critical by optimizing the payment and fulfillment. So these are the areas where the industry can achieve value out of the airline retailing. So NDC, the new distribution capability, it is the first phase of a retailing ambition. It starts with the NDC project and then later on gets supported with other supporting projects like the dynamic pricing, the payment, the interlining, until eventually we achieve the end vision of what we call the 100% of offer and orders. So basically, what is NDC? The new distribution capability, it is an industry program. It is a program that is designed by the industry for the industry. It was launched by IATA back in 2015 for the development and market adoption of the new technologies, which is the XML-based data transmission standards. So NDC, basically, it's a data exchange format that is based on offer and order management processes for airlines to create and distribute relevant offers to the customers, regardless of the distribution channel. It's not a business model, as it was mentioned. It's not a database, and it's not a system. It's only data transmission standards. Where is the industry today when it comes to the airline retailing? So we have seen that despite COVID, airlines, IT providers, sellers, all of them, they continued working on their retailing capabilities. And IATA is working very hard actually with the industry partners to transform and to become more retail focused, to make sure our industry become more retail focused. This will be definitely facilitated by the growth of NDC transactions across the industry. And what we are doing from our side as IATA, we are tracking the growth and we are capturing the value that the industry partners, airlines, and others, they are bringing to the industry through the Airline Retailing Maturity Index, which we call the ARM index. So currently, the industry is around 11% of the NDC transactions. So around 1 in 9 airline sales transactions through the third parties, they are powered by NDC. And IATA will continue to track those volumes and to capture value creation until the industry has achieved a critical mass in the vision to get to 100% of offers and orders. So our vision is that some airlines will achieve the 100% offers and orders by 2030, as you can see here. But this is, of course, depends on the willingness and it depends on the ability of all key stakeholders in the airline retailing to move to the 100% offers and orders. So that's why we are considering seeing it as an aspiration at this point in time, but IATA definitely will work with the industry to ensure that all the required capabilities are available for its members. And here we can see in terms of the IT providers, the aggregators, and the sellers who have joined our Airline Retailing Maturity Index, the ARM index. So with that, I would like to leave you with some of an important information that you can check. And most importantly, please visit our website, the Airline Retailing, where you can find a lot of case studies, testimonials from different partners on the value of airline retailing and on the benefits that they were able to capture so far in their retailing journey. Last but not least, we have an upcoming event that is taking place between the 1st and the 3rd of November in Manama, Bahrain, that is kindly hosted by Gulf Air. And in this event, we are actually going to address the retailing and the payment and as well the customer. How can we become more customer-centric industry? So recently we had an event in Doha, Qatar, kindly hosted by Qatar Airways. That was the World Financial Symposium, where there was a very good discussions around distribution and payment and the alignment between the different departments to make sure that we eventually achieve the success of the retailing strategy. So I really encourage you to attend this symposium. And again, thank you so much for having me in this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manal. Thank you. At least, again, you've just reminded us that NDC was launched by IATA in 2015, because I'm not sure everybody knows that NDC is IATA's baby. So it was nice of you to re-echo that. Also, it was very important for you to mention that NDC is not a database, therefore it's not a system, because there's been some kind of misconception that it's going to phase out GDS, you know. So it was very nice to have heard that it's a data transmission standard and not a database. So thank you so much for joining and for the presentation. So to our participants, please, if you have any questions, please go ahead, go to the Q&A. If you have any questions for Manal, kindly type it on the Q&A. And then also at the end of the session, we would allow a few people to raise their hands and then ask their questions to everybody. In the meantime, thank you so much, Manal. In the meantime, I would just read out 2 questions that were asked for Melanie, the questions are meant for Melanie and Mauricio. Melanie and Mauricio, I will just read out the two questions before we proceed to the next topic. So the first one is, just as we see the products free and paid available in the branded fares, is it possible to also see what will be available in NDC offers? Is it possible to also see what will be available in NDC offers? Melanie, Mauricio, would you like to take that?
Yes, sure. I have already provided an answer to both questions that I have been there. So yes, the offers will be visible in Sabre Red. What it will contain depends really on what the airline is coming back with, because keep in mind that the offers generated on the airline side, we send the request for A to B, and they send the offer. This is what it includes depending on the traveler, and we will make that visible like within branded fares, however the airline has realized that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So Manal, I have one question here for you. It says, to IATA, the airlines have been selling their direct channel in the name of NDC. We see this as going backwards, as we may need to open 32 channels in order to give passengers what they request. This will stop seamless and easy comparison. From IATA point of view, what do you say about this? And is this actual airline retailing? Manal, the question is for you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, dear. Well, actually, with the airline retailing, we are giving more options for the whole industry, be it for the airlines and how to distribute their content, and mainly through the travel agents. So it's about opening, having more flexibility and more options for both airlines and the travel agents. So I'm not sure about opening the 32 channels or maybe more. I know that this is just a number, but it's all about giving a seamless, a transparent shopping experience for the customers, and at the same time providing more options. This is the purpose of the XML. It's providing more options and moving away like from the one size fits all. I hope this clarifies the question. Thank you.
Yes, I believe it does. Thank you, Manal. And then just to add to what Manal said, actually with Saber, you do not need the 32 channels. So Saber would provide you that common platform. That is why we're here for you. So you do not need the 32 channels, the 32 options if you are on Saber. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, I'd like to then invite okay, I see we have further questions, but we would take the questions after we have heard from the NANTA President. So at this point, I'd like to invite the indefatigable NANTA President in the person of Madam Suzanne Akuriaye. She's the National President of NANTA. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mrs. Akuriaye. The floor is now yours. Are you there, Mrs. Akuriaye? I'm not sure. I think you are muted. I see you are still here. Okay, okay. I think she has some network issues, so I will go ahead and invite the next person on the agenda, and that's that would be Qatar Airways. I'd like to welcome in our midst Mr. Oludayo Akeredolu. Oludayo is the marketing executive of Qatar Airways, and he's here with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Oludayo, for joining. The floor is now yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good morning to everyone, to all the panels. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being in the midst of the industry professionals. And as it is, I know a lot have been said about NDC, but definitely from the perspective of the airline, we also need to come in and give our information. Thank you very much. So in not to further waste your time, I just have also a bit of presentation here to share quickly. Kindly let me know once you see my screen. 1 minute. Okay. I'm trying to share my screen here. Okay. Screen. Okay. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Are you there? Can you see my screen,
Yes,
please?
we're here,
Let me
Mr.
know.
Oludayo. Not yet.
Oh, all right.
Okay, I can see your screen
I'm
now, but it's
sharing.
not on presentation mode yet. I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay.
I
All
can
right.
see
I
it
have
now.
it here.
Okay, perfect.
All right. All right. Thank you. Introducing Oryx. A lot has been said about NDC today. As it is, NDC, it's a new distribution capability program that has been designed to support trade partners, delivering a premium retail experience to their clients with the latest technologies so that they can easily access our products and services. But for our side, we call it Oryx. As it is, Qatar Airways definitely, we have a symbol, which logo is, we've been known with this logo for years, and that's the Oryx. So definitely we tend to bring it together in a nice way, and we call it Oryx Connect. So that's why you see this Oryx Connect here. That's the name we are calling our own NDC. So as it is, the overview of NDC, I've already informed over there. We are offering 3 ways to access Oryx. So we call it Oryx Connect. The Oryx Connect, we have 3 phases there. And we have the Oryx Direct, we have the Oryx Link, and the Oryx Portal. This Oryx Direct is the one that offers a suite of Qatar Airways NDC APIs directly, maybe majorly through the OTAs. The Oryx link actually is the one that has to do with aggregators. So for example, Saber. It's available through our partners, including the main GDSs platforms. And we also have the Oryx portal. Oryx portal is a simple and effective booking portal for a non-BSP trade partners. So those are the 3 phases that we have. The benefits definitely have been explained. Also, I just want to inform. It helps NDC definitely, the Oryx Connect, which we call it, definitely helps in best class in retailing, because as it's been launched by IATA, it will definitely help in a good retailing assistance, both from both party and the airline, the IATA members, and also the NANTAs. It improves functionality. As we can see, as it was displayed, it's very easy. It's good for functionality. You can easily access the platform, ability to tailor your travel experiences and select the ancillary products. It also makes it easy as well. We also have the intuitive user experience. Definitely, you will be able to access and also have a smooth experience, not like the former Edifact, which we have, but this will be a smoother and a more express and open experience for us. Also, access through our GDS and aggregators, which we also explained. Being Saber is one of them. So looking at the key functionalities for Saber that has been mentioned all throughout today, availability of full published schedule. All our selected private Qatar Airways fares will be available on it. We have all ancillaries like a preferred seat baggages. We have also Qatar Airways, we have code share and Italian partners. Will also be very much available on Oryx Connect, which is the NDC. Also, we also input because we know payment gateways is definitely important as well. So we are also including the common payment methods via BSP, which is cash or credit card, including IATA Easy Pay, which we all know about. This as well, bringing in very soon servicing capabilities, which include a refund, because definitely we have challenges with this, but definitely we are making sure we get it. So NDC adoption, the way it works for us, Oryx Link actually is the main one, which definitely is through our aggregators, and Saber definitely is one of them. So the Oryx Link is the one which is the major one we are going to use. We're going to use through our multiple aggregators in the pipeline. GDS industry. Just to quickly go through the capabilities, like I mentioned, it's just in summary here. We have all QR code share and over 100 interline partners flights available. We have the multiple payments available. We have the special service request. For example, people want to request for special meals online, want to request for wheelchair. All that is available, as well as the baggages. All this is definitely available on our Oryx Connect, which is we call the NDC. So the benefits, it's much in terms of where the airline is heading to right now. Firstly, for the airline, the NDC standard enhances scalability of distributing in a modern way our products to our trade partners, TMCs, OTAs, consolidators, and then it also assists in introducing flight details, ancillary products in a faster and more dynamic ways, which will help us to deliver enhanced customer experience. That is for the NDC. So what do we offer in the NDC? Basically, we definitely offer, like I said, a shopping request flow. Offer means flight and seat availability with airfare that could be bundled with other products such as the ancillary services. Definitely, this NDC is certified by IATA because Qatar Airways has obtained the Airline Retailing Maturity Index, which we call ARM certification from IATA. And this definitely we have a full order management capabilities in order to all booking, selling capabilities in order to enhance servicing our products and services to our customers. And then the version that we have currently, definitely we have the NDC Schema version, which definitely we are going to upgrade to later versions very soon. So basically, NDC is the way to go right now, and Qatar Airways definitely we are rolling it out all in our markets. Though in Nigeria, we have not yet rolled it out fully in our market here, but we are working on it as well. We are working on it very soon because all the markets it's going to be in phases. But so for Nigeria, this month, coming in October, definitely we are going to roll it out to the markets from our side. So basically, this is what we have. We call it Oryx Connect. And definitely we welcome this new technology into the airline industry. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladayo, for your presentation. Thank you for taking us through that. At least I've also learned a couple of things, like the major benefits, such as being best in class, retailing, intuitive user experience, and improved functionality, as well as other key functionalities. Thank you so much. I'd like to use this opportunity to also tell our partners, all our agencies that are here with us, that Qatar Airways is live on Saber. Qatar Airways NDC is live on Saber, and you can order immediately. So agencies can go ahead and order immediately. Thank you so much. And then if you have any challenges, if you encounter any challenges while ordering, please feel free to contact your account manager. Thank you. So finally, I'd like to welcome once again Mrs. Susan Akporiaye, the NANTA President. Thank you so much, ma'am, for all that you do. Mrs. Susan Akporiaye, if you do not know, is the NANTA President, and she's always in the forefront trying to make things smooth and easy for all the travel agencies in Nigeria. Thank you so much, ma'am, for always being in front and for leading by example. So the floor is yours right now. Thank you.
You said the floor is for me. I'm so sorry. You know, today is World Tourism Day, and we have a very big event. I had to put on my video so that you will see. Actually, we're on the cruise, but this meeting was very important to me, so I had to still join, despite the fact that it wasn't convenient. I was there throughout. I listened through the presentation and all that until network cut me off briefly, but I'm back now to at least to hear the last part on how far Saber has gone with the NDC program, and that is very exciting for me, because I'm one of them. I'm a Saber partner, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm also happy that they said Qatar is live. I think there has to be a constant update, so we know how many airlines are live on NDC, so that we can start using it. Like we all know, it is technology. It's the new way to go. We cannot reject it for too long. We have to find a way of embracing it, because just the same way we transmitted from one system to the GDS, now there's a movement again. That's the good thing about technology. Everybody's always moving. There's always new innovation. So NDC has come to stay. Thank you, Saber, for taking the bull by the horn and going forward with this NDC. I'm looking forward to using it, and trust me, I will definitely update you for any issues that you need to, any gray areas that you need to update on. I hope you're hearing me, because it's a bit noisy here. And happy World Tourism Day to everybody. Today is World Tourism Day. So you guys, you know what? Enough of the meetings, go have fun. Today is our day. It's World Tourism Day all over the world. And the theme of the celebration this year is rethinking tourism. That's what we do. Tourism is life. So I had to join this meeting because it was very important, but there's so much fun here. We're having a boat cruise to Takwa Bay. That's where we're celebrating the World Tourism Day this year. So thank you very much. It's been an interesting, believe me, I actually did. Before the boat cruise started, I had to look for a quiet corner to join the meeting, because it's very important to listen to what is going on. And I am actually very impressed and looking forward to it. Thank you very much. And like I said, please guys, World Tourism Day, go out and celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And hope you're having a lot of fun. I hope you have fun today and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for all the support. We really appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so that was the NANTA President. So we will go to Q&A once more before we call it a day. So I have some questions here. So I will go ahead and read out the questions that I have here. So I have one: is this not a strategic cost reduction through digital enhancement on the part of airline with regards to what the GDS are charging them? Please clarify. Mr. Oladaya, would you like to take that, please, since this is about airline? Would you like to answer that question, please? Says, is this not a strategic cost reduction through digital enhancement on the part of airline with regards to what the GDS are charging them? Please clarify. Mr. Oladayo, you are muted. You are muted. I can't hear you. You are muted.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Yes, thank you very much for the question. Definitely, we've been having these questions all along, where people come in and say, maybe the airline is trying to reduce costs from their side. No. NDC is the new way to go. It's a new technology, definitely, which offers, like we said, offers seamless ways in order to showcase products to our customers, and it will also help our trade partners as well in order to be able to do this seamlessly to their own valued customers. So NDC is not taking over GDS, all the former GDS that they know. No. It's just a better technology, seamless technology platform, which definitely will help make our retailing capability enhanced and good. It would drive better customer experience even for them. That is what we've been preaching. So it's not a way just to reduce our costs. No, not at all. So that's not what we are about. What we are about is to give a seamless experience to both our trade partners and to their own customers. That is what the NDC is about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Oladaya. The next one here is to IATA. It says the airlines have been selling their direct channel in the name of NDC. We see this. Okay, this has already been answered. This question has already been answered. The next one here says, I would like IATA and airline representative to give the right perspective to this. I'm not quite sure what your expectations are here, but we've had some presentations from the IATA representative as well as Mr. Oladayo, the airline representative. So I'm not sure what you mean by the right perspective. Could you be more specific with your question, please? So moving on to the next one, we have, please, what is the difference between NDC and the private channel as presented by airlines today? Once more, Mr. Oladayo, would you like to take that, please? What is the difference between NDC and the private channel as presented by airlines today? Mr. Oladayo, are you there? Okay.
Yes, I'm here with you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
By private channels, I don't understand what the person who is asking the question means. By private channels, maybe he's trying to hear the Altia GDS platform we still have on board. The thing is, like I said, NDC is not replacing it, but it's a better option. It's a better option to encourage sellers to register. To encourage the trade partners to make sure that their customers get a seamless and effortless operation as they want to. So it's not that we are taking over and erasing the other content that we have already. As different from GDS, we have different progresses on NDC implementations. Everything is ongoing. It's a new channel, and the implementation is ongoing. And we've approached respective aggregators like Saber in order to make it seamless for our customers. So it's a program that we have in terms of to settle our BSP market and the non-BSP market as well. That is NDC for you. So we are not scrapping or saying that, oh no to the platform of the old platform. It's going to, the old platform definitely will still exist, but NDC is just a better retailing platform for them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladayo, for the clarification. Now, moving on to the next question, which is being displayed on the screen. I discovered that most of the times, whenever we booked airline for our travelers as part of their documents, after their visa has been granted, but they refuse to issue the ticket with us and go extra miles to travel agency organization websites to get lowest fare and use for their trip. Does that mean we cannot get lowest fare like the other agency advertising lowest fares online on a daily basis? Thank you for the question. However, I'm not sure the airline that you refer to, is this Qatar? Because if it's not Qatar, then unfortunately, Mr. Oladayo would not be able to respond. But if it's Qatar, please let us know so that we can address it immediately to Mr. Oladayo. Thank you. Another question for you here, Mr. Oladayo. Where to issue Qatar Airways in Cameroon? Mr. Oladayo, can you please advise where they can issue Qatar Airways in Cameroon?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, as it is right now, Cameroon is still one of our offline markets. We are looking to launch into our market product into Cameroon by next year, early next year. But the date definitely has not been certain, but early next year we should do that. So the best form now, it's online. That is what we have available. We have some already trade partners in Cameroon, but it's been overseen by an offline manager who resides in Doha currently. So he comes to Africa. He's also an African person, so he understands French very well. He speaks French fluently and also English. So he is able to maneuver all through the markets that we have. So as currently as it is, Cameroon is offline market. But if you want to maybe get in contact with the offline manager, it's something that we can share his contact with you via email. You can as well maybe be able to register and join us in the market while we await the launching of our product to go live in Cameroon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Oladayo. I see a question here, if we can have the extracts of the presentation sent to us via emails. Sure, that would be done. Another one, will Qatar Airways be organizing a training for Oscar Romeo X-Ray Yankee Connect? Qatar Airways, Mr. Oladayo, do you have a response to that?
All right, thank you very much. I am very certain the person means the Oryx Connect, which I presented. So definitely, we call it Oryx Connect from our side. You know, we like to personalize things in our own place. So definitely, we are planning to do that next month. Like I said earlier in my presentation, the Oryx Connect. From our side, is being launched in phases in different markets. So as it is, we are looking to organize a webinar once we have it. We are looking at maybe second or third week in the month of October. That will definitely come live. So just stay tuned for it. We will get invites from all the sales account managers and even from our offices.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Oladayo. So Before we continue with the questions on the chat box, we have Titilaya, who has been raising her hand. Titilaya, please go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question. Please be brief. Thank you. Titilaya, please, can you go ahead and ask your question? If you're speaking, we can't hear you because you're muted. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, while we wait for Titilaya, I'll go ahead and take the next question. It seems she's not ready yet. Good morning, Mr. Oladayo, and thanks for the presentation. Please, for the passengers traveling to Caribbean country like Port of Spain, do your airlines need okay to board before taking passengers through Brazil with Qatar Airways? Mr. Oladayo?
Yes, correct, positive. You need definitely airport transit visa, which definitely you need to obtain if you're going to Sao Paulo. I guess that's what you're referring to. Yes, you will get it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Oladayo. Okay. I see another question here. Should we retain that NDC is for airlines to sell some services that could not be accessible through traditional GDS? I would leave Mr. Oladayo to answer that question. Should we retain, Mr. Oladayo, the question says, should we retain that NDC is for airlines to sell some services that could not be accessible through traditional GDS?
All right, yes, that is correct. And that is what we've been preaching. As it is, NDC, like we said, it brings a lot of better options, seamless options to our partners. So there are a lot of ancillary products which you were not able to sell through the old platform, which are still existing definitely, but we are including it in the NDC, which is Oryx Connect. So we are putting in preferred seats and baggages, ancillaries like selection of seats, selection of meals as well. All this are being put in NDC. So there's a lot of advantages if you're going to take on NDC. Like I said, it's a better retailing capability for you. It's a better option. We were introduced to how the airline, evolved all through the years, and this actually is also an evolving process for the airline. Thank you.
Just to add to that, so this NDC content that was just mentioned is obviously also available in Saber once it is activated once you have activated NDC content. So NDC content made available by the airline once you have enabled it in Saber is accessible to you as well through the GDS.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we have one question showing on the screen for IATA. It says to Saber, but I'm not sure this is for Saber. I think it would be for Manal. Do trade partners have options not to be part of NDC? What does an agent stand to gain or lose? Manal, would you like to answer this question, please?
Yes, absolutely. Well,
Thank you.
Basically, this is your option. It's not, NDC is not here to force anything. It's either an airline option or an agent option to choose the way that they would like to trade together or for the airline to distribute their content. What are you going to lose? We just showed on the screen the McKinsey study and the value, the potential that is coming out of the retail. We're talking about $40 billion by 2030 for the whole industry. So definitely the potential is huge. Not to go, this is where the future, it's if you are not moving toward this modern retailing, it's your customer who eventually will push you to do this change. So it's very important to start preparing for it. And it depends. I will do like I answer this, and there is a follow-up question like on the channels. So you can have NDC content. It could be like a direct connect. The airlines, they have the possibility of sharing their NDC content with a direct connect through the agent portal, or it could be through the GDSs acting as aggregators, or it could be through new entrants, which we call the aggregator in the NDC world. So we are not trying to push any way. It's up to the agents and to the airlines. This is something, a commercial agreement between both of you that you need to discuss and to agree. But the potential is huge. Definitely, this is the future. And it's very important for you to start considering it, because eventually, if you don't move toward this modern retailing, your business will be irrelevant and you will be out of business. So in the future, we're talking, we are still here. We are providing all the options, but apparently this is where the industry is heading. So it's very important for you to start looking into this big change that is coming. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Manal. So we have two people that are raising their hands. So first of all, we have Francis Udomba. Francis, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Francis Udomba, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ifeanyi. Please, my question is straightforward and easy. We need because on the GDS now, we always see Yankee class. It's even applicable to Qatar Airways. And what we really need to sell. And if we need to sell, we need other cheaper classes to come up. Now it's so competitive. So we just need other classes to come up. If NDC will be able to provide such services to us, at least it'll be well welcomed. So I wouldn't know if Mr. Dayo can even share more light on that. Because presently, if you check the system, we struggle for Yankee class.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Francis.
So we just need him to say something about that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Francis. Mr. Dayo, Mr. Ladayo, please, would you like to address that? I think we lost Mr. Oladayo, unfortunately. Okay, so we have another person. Sorry, Mr. Francis.
Francis.
Once we have Mr. Oladayo back, then he would respond to you. Mr. Folami, please, can you go ahead with your question? Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good morning, all. My name is Yinka Folami. I'm VP NANTA Lagos. Yeah, and just like the president said earlier, I'm also a partner to Saber, and I'm actually a fan of Saber. So I congratulate you on your launch. Yeah, and we always understand that you blaze the trail. So to my question, and it is a specific question for our booking administrations. Before I go into it, I also acknowledge the approval and nod by IATA, and I understand that it's a direction that the market is treading. I want to ask a question for clarification, because I did the same thing when I was invited to an NDC launch by an airline. We have issues, with our with the GDS, right? And around booking and ticketing operations. I personally understand technology to be smart, right? If you do not want a type of booking to happen, yeah, then introduce a command in your technology to prevent it from happening. Rather than a situation where on the GDSs, like churning and all of that, it happens and it exposes agents to AGMs and penalties by the airline. So the clarification I got from the previous NDC seminars that I've attended is that NDC technology is flexible and simple. Yeah. So my question, right, or my advice to Saber and other GDS companies is that all the issues around booking malpractices, right, or booking inefficiencies please help us make sure that the NDC technology prevents them from happening, rather than a situation where it goes on, it happens, and we agents are just exposed to airline penalties and ADAs, which obviously are commercially eroding to our practices. So I don't know, Mr. Oladayo, if you'll be able to take that question, or if you just take it as a feedback from us. Keep technology smart the way we understand it. Yeah. If you don't want a command to happen, make sure that that command is prevented, rather than a situation where it happens and then agents are now penalized.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Mr. Oladayo, please, would you like to take that? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I don't know if I was able to answer the first question because maybe you weren't listening to me. Maybe I wasn't audible at the time. So actually, I'm combining the two right now. So for the first question, when he said about the Yankee class, definitely, as it is, NDC is going to improve our retailing capability by adding other classes to it. So definitely, you will not just be seeing Yankee class only, but definitely other classes will be added to the platform. That is why, you know, the admonition of joining NDC has come up severally. And also to the second question that was raised, definitely, this is one of the reasons why NDC is being, preached across all boards, where we're having seminars and all by our aggregators and by the airline to make sure that we leave the former, we avoid the former mistakes that have been made on the other old platforms. Like it said by the panelists today, we are not forcing anybody to leave the GDS, former GDS, and then move on to NDC. No, it will be your choice. It will be your choice, but be well informed that you will be able to have a better option, better service to your customers if you go through the NDC, if you choose to join the NDC. So because it will give better options for non-BSP, like I said, and BSP markets. So it's not just going to limit only to the BSP market, it's for both ways. And we definitely making sure, because we are improving in our technology and we're making sure that we want to avoid situations where ADMs are being dished out to our trade partners inappropriately, where they won't understand what is going on, and then they get ADMs and all. In order to avoid all these penalties, that is why we keep reinventing. And NDC, the Oryx Connect, is one of the ways where Qatar Airways is reinventing retailing options for our trade partners. So definitely, these are part of what we are working on on NDC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Oladayo, for the clarification. So it's now 12:02 here in Nigeria, and we've taken quite a couple of questions from the chat box and then also from people. So if you still have any unanswered questions, kindly do well to reach out to your account managers, and these questions will be answered. So on this note, I'd like to invite our host, Mr. Hamish Broom, to give our vote of thanks. Thank you. Hamish, can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see me okay, Effie? Can you see me okay?
Yes, I do. I
Well,
see and I can hear you also.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. What a fantastic session this has been, and we've learned so many different things this morning. I hope you've all enjoyed it and found it valuable time well spent. We have had over 200 participants attending this webinar. We're delighted with the level of turnout. I'd like to call out just some of the participants. Unfortunately, I can't call out all 200, but the MD of Travelog, MD of Network Travel, MD of Rewards, MD of Emanuela of TripPoint, MD of Fidelia, D's Travel, JetPoint Travels MD, and also from Travel Logistics, the MD, you're all been very welcome, and the local VP of NANTA for Lagos Island. All of you are very welcome. We particularly know that you're all busy people, and we appreciate you giving up your time, and that extends to everybody who has joined this webinar today. I'd particularly also like to say a special thank you to our presenters who made their presentations and have taken your questions and shared with you this very exciting development that's happening right now in our travel industry. So special thanks to Maurizio and Melanie from Saber. Thank you to Manal from IATA. Thank you to Eladio from Qatar, and a call out to Susan on her jet boat from NANTA. We really appreciated her breaking into another function to be with us. All of those, I think, show the level of commitment and dedication that we are putting into this topic, because we know how important it is going to be for you. I think Manal made some very good points in that this is the way the industry is going, and we, all of us, need to be on board with this. It is happening. It's going to get much bigger, and it's going to get more sophisticated, and it's going to impact all the way we buy and sell travel, wherever we are in the travel value chain. So it's important that we all know as much as we can about it. If I could pick out one statistic from the day, again, that was in one of Manal's slides, that currently there are 62 airlines already doing NDC, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. There will be many more. Finally, I'd like to thank Effie for leading the call today. Done a great job, Effie. I really appreciate that, so thank you for that. And behind the scenes, there's been a lot of people who've been working on this who you haven't seen, but if I could call out one person, it would be Nuruddin, who is done as our marketing and comms director, and he's been doing a lot of work and preparing this and getting the whole program together. Just to let you know, we're repeating the program tomorrow in French. So if you've got colleagues or you know of people who are in French-speaking countries, we're rerunning this program tomorrow, all in French. So if you would like details of that, you can contact either Effie, or you can contact Nuruddin or your account manager, or any contact at Saber, and we'll provide the link for the French publication. So with that, I wish you all a good day, and I look forward to seeing you adopt NDC as it becomes available in the region. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Hamish. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.